Hello, this is my cooking video. Welcome to it. So, as you can see, I'm boiling water right now for some Alfredo. What I start out with is some extra virgin olive oil, some water in a pan, and a little bit of salt. Keeps it from sticking and cooks it real well. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab all of your pasta. And this is a cool trick I learned online, but that was pretty cool. Put your noodles directly in the middle of the pot and let go. And sometimes it fails, and you want it to evenly cook, so you kind of want to get it how I'm trying to do it. So start right back in there, and it should spread out pretty evenly sometimes. So it's kind of look like this, kind of twisted around each other. And so that's basically gonna boil now. And what you're gonna do is let that boil and everything. Then you're gonna turn on your other eye with a flat pan. And you're gonna turn it up to medium heat. You're gonna start with your Alfredo sauce with whole milk. And you wanna do it while it's cold, so it doesn't just burn the milk. You're gonna do about enough to cover the bottom and maybe about a centimeter, a little bit more than a centimeter up, and you're gonna add more milk later, so keep that in mind. You also have your chicken, and that's gonna be last, because you don't want chicken just sitting forever, because it tends to get dry and you don't get all the juices and they just kind of fall out. So you're gonna take your scooper, wherever you want to call it, and push it down, push the noodles down, and kind of separate them, stir them around a little bit, and just let them cook. Don't let them stick to the bottom, kind of like move them around once in a while, and set that aside. And once this starts to get sort of medium heat, you're gonna want to take your Parmesan cheese and you're gonna sprinkle it all around. You want to fill the whole thing up, the whole container. And then after that, you just let that sit, kind of stir it around, mix it together, get real nice and broken up, and let that start melting. And so this is what I do to kind of speed it up. Take a little bit of your pasta water and pour a little bit in there, and it will kind of bring it up to heat. Not too fast, but not too slow. And that will ensure that it cooks evenly and everything. Now, you're gonna wanna take a stick of butter, preferably unsalted, because it's I guess it's more of a personal preference, but if you like salt, which you're going to be adding salt anyways, after these steps, you don't want to add everything all at once. So you're going to take about, we'll say, about 3 tablespoons of butter, unsalted. You're going to split that down, pull aside, and you got your butter. I'll put it into the pan, and then you're gonna let that come up to heat. I would turn it up just a little bit more, just so if you want to, speed up the process a little bit more. You're gonna kind of move it around. You're gonna stir it with the butter, so it evenly get it all throughout the pan. And this feeds, you know, it can feed quite a lot of people. It's a lot of food. Just again, make sure that that is still separated and boiling correctly. And once this starts to get up to heat, which it's starting to get there, it's about a little bit past the medium heat because I turned it up a little bit to speed up the process. You don't want it too hot because then the Parmesan doesn't do too well. You're gonna take 2 whole sticks, and so basically this is why I do this. You can use 1 stick, but if you have people that really like sauce in their food, like a bunch of sauce, this is what I do. So once you take your 2 sticks, this also makes it extremely creamy and it thickens it up. And I've had a lot of trouble trying to, I wouldn't say perfect it, but it's taken me a while to, you know, get it down to where it's creamy, thick, good, you know. So after you do that, you're gonna let that come up to heat, maybe turn it up just a little bit, and basically just let this melt. And once it's melted and broken up, and you're gonna get little clumps. You're gonna get these little cream cheese clumps, and you don't have to worry about that because once you don't need to basically fine stir it and stuff like that. It just takes forever. So once you put it inside of once you empty out your noodles, you're gonna pour that in the sauce into the noodles, or you can put the noodles into the pan and, you know, stir it up, and it kind of breaks it up for you. Can basically break it up like that. So that the noodles are, again, they're probably around, I wouldn't say half heat, a little bit above half heat. We got this going, and I'll show you all the next ingredient that I use. So this stuff is absolutely great, and personally, so I'll show you all what it really is a personal preference. This right here. So these right here are bouillon, chicken bouillon. You have even the beef bouillon to use, but you want to use the chicken because this is chicken Alfredo. And usually, I mean, this, chicken has its own flavor, but this makes it so much better. And this is the brand I use. This brand is the best. It's called Better Than Bouillon. Now you can get these and you can use the cheaper ones because this is around $10. This is, around like $4 maybe. But this is quality. This is quality stuff, and it breaks down so much easier and tastes a whole lot better. Also, it lasts forever. I mean, you only need just a little bit because it goes a long way. And it's extremely, extremely high sodium unless you get, the lower sodium one, which I don't really see a need for that. So, now this is kind of like eyeballing. This is about, I would say, half a spoonful, I guess we would say, regular size spoon. You're going to dump that in and basically let that, stir that up, get it all mixed together good. And now you're going to start to see that your Parmesan cheese is melting, and you're going to kind of push that cream cheese down. You want it to be all incorporated. So, like I was saying earlier, this will probably make, you know, the amount of servings this makes is quite a lot. It makes a lot of servings you know, it will last you forever. You can eat for lunch, breakfast, you know, you name it. And, you know, it's probably one of the easiest dishes that you can do, second to spaghetti whenever you're doing noodles and stuff like that. Of course, we're not going to count, you know, ramen and stuff like that, which I will be making a video on how I do my sweet noodles, which are really, really good. So I'll show you what this looks like now. And this is what I was going to show y'all. So now you have it all broken up, and you see how there's like little clumps in it. That's kind of how you want it to be, and it's going to be fairly good consistency so far. But as that cream cheese starts to get more incorporated, it will start, you know, getting pretty. I guess you'd say it's just going to basically be incorporated. So now you got this. You got your noodles right here. You're going to make sure that those are still not sticking together and sticking to the bottom, because that just leads to multiple problems when it comes to cleaning up. And now you have your halfway done noodles. These need to sit for probably another 5 minutes. You don't want them super done, but you also don't want them super, you know, hard, and it just leads to just bad texture. I mean, it just really depends on what you care for texture. So that is almost done, and we're going to use the same pot for the chicken as that we have for this right here, because we're going to make this kind of like it's going to be very quick, and it's going to get done pretty fast, and yeah, it's going to be good. So now we're going to add our seasonings, because it's getting to that point. What you're going to add, which I don't have pepper, but usually you add pepper. I'm going to add something a little bit different to substitute it, and it's going to be just as great. So you're going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning, just right on the top. Just a little bit, just a sprinkle, because all you want is the flavor. You don't want it to be all getting in your teeth, stuff like that. And also, I forgot, this is normally what I use. It's for cakes, but you want it kind of gets the bottom completely, keep it from sticking it to the bottom, and I don't know, I just prefer this a whole lot better. You can also see underneath the pot, or underneath all the sauce, see how, like, if it's sticking, and because you don't want it to stick. And if you have a really good pan, which this is a really good pan, it tends to be pretty, you know, it's pretty good whenever it comes to sticking. All right, so this is starting to run out of water, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit more water. It's also going to cool it down quite a lot. So just keep that in mind. Usually you just want to add a bunch of water, but since I added the pasta water before, it's kind of running out of water. Don't overestimate it, don't underestimate it. Noodles will, you know, they'll still cook pretty good even if you cool it down a little bit. So keep that in mind, and you can always, you know, blast it up to high and it will get right back up to temperature, but I don't need to do that. So this is starting to get done, so I'm going to put it on low simmer. Okay, this is the mixture, and I'll add the next seasonings that I was talking about. So the next, you know, it for good Parmesan, no, not Parmesan, good Alfredo, garlic is the best way to go. And this is what I was saying, you're not going to need to add salt, you know, because this is going to be the salt for it. So you're just going to sprinkle that over the top, and you're just going to let that sit. You don't have to stir it just yet, because it's all going to get incorporated anyways. And then you're going to add lemon pepper. which I mean, I've always done it like this, so I think it tastes good. I think everybody else likes it like that too. So just a little bit, you know, you don't need too much. It's gonna, you know, all come together and be pretty good. And then you're going to add I guess I don't have any more. What I would normally add is onion. Little bit of onion, not too much onion, just a little bit. You don't want it to be, you know, really overpowering. So now this is the consistency. It's really thick, and whenever you add the pasta to it, it's not gonna be the extremely thick, you know, like stick to your, you know, top of your mouth type of sticky. Once you add the noodles, it will basically keep that from happening. It's gonna give it a whole lot of moisture from the noodles. Okay, so these noodles, they are almost done, and I can't really do much until they're done. As for the chicken, meaning, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep for the chicken. I'll show you all how I do that. Now, this is not a ideal cutting board because you can get microplastics whenever you eat this, but I'm going to be extremely careful whenever it comes to, you know, cutting it and everything. Let me make sure that it's pointed down just a little bit. You can kind of see. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab your knife, my knife. I use this one all the time for chicken, stuff like that. Really sharp, so what you're gonna do, now make sure you don't, you know, touch a bunch of stuff, but what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your chicken and you're going to slice all the way down. And how you're gonna slice it, you're not gonna slice it like this. Here, you're not gonna slice it like this. You're gonna slice it long ways, because then you get these nice strips, and it also stays together a whole lot better. So you're gonna go like this again. You need another long strip, and if you have like a little bit of cleanup that you need to do, like you have a little bit of, you can either throw that away or use it. I'm gonna use it. And now you're gonna have these long strips, and now you're just gonna cut it down the middle. Now you have 3 long strips. You're gonna do that, just you do that with all the other ones too. Alright. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. Whatever seasonings that you want to use for these, you can use it for. It's you know, it's going to taste, the chicken is going to make it taste however you want it to taste. So you can add whatever seasonings you want. Alright, so yeah, that is basically all you do. I mean, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that in a oiled pan with extra virgin olive oil. Don't want to use butter. You can use butter, but I'm not going to use butter. Now I'm going to salt, pepper, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. And oh, I do have onion pepper, onion powder. So I will be using that, and that's basically it. So have a good one. This is how it's going to turn out, basically.